General Hospital spoilers reveal that Bradford Anderson has stepped into a turning point that is poised to redefine his character, Damien Spinelli, in General Hospital history. What began as a seemingly routine investigation has now evolved into a complex, dangerous game, one where the stakes are higher than ever. A new force is emerging, pulling Spinelli into an obsession that goes beyond his usual hacking exploits. The situation is spiraling into a chaotic storm of deception, betrayal, and high-risk decision-making. But at the center of it all, one name remains: Jason Morgan. Spinelli has always been fiercely loyal to Jason, seeing him as both a protector and a brother. Their friendship has been tested countless times, surviving betrayals, criminal takedowns, and near-death experiences. But now, the very fabric of their dynamic is shifting as a new crisis unfolds, one that threatens not just Jason's future but the carefully constructed world Spinelli has always relied on. This isn't just another cyber mystery to solve or a mission to uncover hidden truths. This is something far more insidious, something that forces Spinelli into a position where he must act not just as Jason's ally but as his only lifeline. Spinelli is no stranger to danger, but this time, the lines between friend and foe have blurred. He is beginning to realize that the rules have changed, that the threats Jason is facing are no longer just about the criminal world they've always navigated. There is something else at play, an unseen force orchestrating chaos from the shadows. The more Spinelli digs, the more he uncovers a web of deception so intricate that even he struggles to see where it leads. What makes this situation even more perilous is the realization that they are not just reacting to a crisis, they are being played. The question is, by whom? Someone is pulling the strings, orchestrating events in a way that forces both Spinelli and Jason to move in a specific direction. And for the first time in his life, Spinelli is beginning to feel that he is not the one controlling the information, he is being manipulated. This is no longer just about data breaches and intelligence gathering. The stakes have never been this high, and every choice they make carries a consequence that cannot be undone. If Spinelli makes a wrong move, if Jason walks into the wrong situation, everything could come crashing down around them. What started as an investigation has now become an obsession, consuming Spinelli in a way he never expected. He is no longer just following leads, he is chasing an answer that feels just out of reach. But the more desperate he becomes, the more reckless he is willing to be. His usual caution is slipping, replaced by an urgency that is beginning to cloud his judgment. He has always been the one to analyze every angle, to think before acting, but now, with Jason's life on the line, he doesn't have the luxury of time. His desperation pushes him into riskier territory, leading him to make choices he never would have considered before. He is hacking into more dangerous systems, reaching out to contacts he had long sworn off, and putting himself on the radar of people he should never have crossed. The deeper he goes, the more he begins to realize that he is playing with fire. And yet, he cannot stop. Every moment he spends unraveling this mystery brings him closer to something that feels bigger than anything he has ever faced before. But at what cost? His obsession is consuming him, and those closest to him are starting to notice. If he keeps going down this path, he risks losing not just Jason, but himself. As Spinelli inches closer to the truth, he is faced with a revelation that shakes him to his core. This isn't just about Jason's survival, it is about who has been orchestrating this entire situation from the beginning. And the answer is worse than he could have ever imagined. The ultimate betrayal is staring him in the face, a truth so devastating that it threatens to break everything he has ever known. Someone from their inner circle, someone they trusted, has been the one feeding the chaos, manipulating events to ensure Jason and Spinelli walked into an inevitable trap. The feeling of control Spinelli thought he had? It was nothing but an illusion. The weight of this realization nearly crushes him, but there is no time to process it. Jason's life is still in danger, and Spinelli must act fast. The only question now is, how far is he willing to go to fix the damage that has already been done? As this crisis reaches its peak, one thing becomes clear: Spinelli is no longer just the tech genius, the loyal friend who supports Jason from behind a screen. He is now a player in the game, a man forced to step out of the shadows and into the battlefield. The decisions he makes now will not just determine Jason's fate but his own. But something inside him has changed. The experience has hardened him, stripped away the illusions of safety he once believed in. He is no longer just reacting, he is preparing to take control in a way he never has before. This is not just a test of loyalty, it is a defining moment. A moment where Spinelli must prove that he is more than just an ally, he is a force to be reckoned with. And as the final battle looms, one thing is certain: after this, nothing in Port Charles will ever be the same again. Spinelli has finally gained access to one of the darkest mysteries in Port Charles, Cyrus' secret blacklist. What he has uncovered is more than just a list of names, it is a web of power, corruption, and hidden agendas that reaches far beyond what anyone had imagined. This revelation has sent him into a new spiral of obsession, one that pushes him further into danger as he pieces together the disturbing truth behind the names on the list. The discovery itself is overwhelming. Spinelli has spent years navigating the digital underworld, exposing hidden threats, and unraveling dangerous conspiracies, but nothing compares to this. The blacklist isn't just a collection of targets, it is a carefully curated network of enemies, allies, and potential threats that Cyrus has been watching, controlling, or eliminating behind the scenes. Every name on the list represents a part of a much larger puzzle, and Spinelli realizes that the deeper he digs, the more treacherous the game becomes. But this isn't just about information, this is about survival. The list doesn't just name known criminals and powerful figures in Port Charles, it contains names of people Spinelli never expected. Some of them are connected to Jason, some are tied to the Quartermaines, and others belong to individuals who should have had no link to Cyrus at all. But the most shocking revelation? The name at the center of it all, the real power behind Cyrus, the one person even he seems to answer to. This discovery changes everything. Spinelli knows he has uncovered something dangerous, something that was never meant to see the light of day. But more than that, he knows that Jason needs to act now. This isn't just about taking down Cyrus, this is about preventing an even greater threat from taking control. The man they thought was the boss may only be a puppet, and the real mastermind is finally being revealed. For Jason, this revelation means immediate action. He has spent years dealing with threats in Port Charles, but this is different. This is not just a rival looking for territory or an enemy seeking revenge, this is a carefully orchestrated plan that has been unfolding in the shadows, and he is only now seeing the full picture. The blacklist isn't just a hit list, it is a strategy, a way for someone to eliminate obstacles and consolidate power. And if Jason doesn't move quickly, he and Spinelli could be next. Spinelli, usually the man behind the scenes, finds himself in the line of fire. He was never supposed to access this information, never supposed to uncover these secrets. But now that he has, there is no going back. He has already left a digital footprint, and the people behind the list will come looking for him. For the first time, he is not just the hacker exposing the truth, he is a target. The battle lines are being drawn, and Jason knows there is no time to waste. He must decide whether to take out Cyrus now, before the full truth can be exposed, or use this knowledge to find out who is really in charge. Every decision comes with consequences, and the wrong move could tip the balance in favor of the enemy. But one thing is clear, whoever is controlling Cyrus is far more dangerous than they ever imagined. Spinelli's obsession has led him to the most critical discovery of his life, but it has also put him in the crosshairs of forces he doesn't fully understand. Jason has always been the one to protect him, but this time, even Jason may not be able to stop what is coming. As Port Charles braces for the fallout of these revelations, one undeniable truth emerges: this isn't just about Cyrus anymore. This is about a new era of power, a shift in control that will determine the future of the city. And as the battle begins, one question remains: will Jason and Spinelli survive long enough to stop it? Spinelli is finding himself drawn back into Maxie's orbit in ways he hadn't anticipated. Their interactions are becoming more frequent, more significant, and with Sasha gone from deception, the landscape of Maxie's professional and personal life is rapidly shifting. The absence of Sasha has left a void, creating instability in the company and adding another layer of tension to the already strained relationships within Deception. While Maxie tries to maintain control, Spinelli can see that the cracks are forming, and something bigger is brewing beneath the surface. But this isn't just about business, there is something deeper happening. Spinelli has always had feelings for Maxie, even after their romantic relationship ended, and now, as they navigate this new chapter, he is beginning to wonder if those old feelings have ever truly disappeared. Every conversation, every moment they spend together, reignites something within him. But the timing couldn't be worse. With deception facing an internal crisis and the situation surrounding Jason escalating, Spinelli is being pulled in too many directions at once. Meanwhile, outside of his personal life, Spinelli is becoming increasingly entangled in the chaos surrounding Jason. The discoveries he has made regarding Cyrus' blacklist are weighing heavily on him, and the paranoia is starting to take hold. He knows that time is running out. If he and Jason don't act soon, they could lose their chance to strike first. The problem is that every new piece of information only seems to complicate the situation further. With Jason relying on him more than ever, Spinelli finds himself at a crossroads. His skills have always made him valuable, but for the first time, he is starting to feel like he's in over his head. The people they are up against aren't just street-level criminals or rival organizations, they are something much darker, much more calculated. The sense of control that Spinelli has always prided himself on is slipping away, and the weight of it all is becoming overwhelming. The unpredictability of it all is beginning to affect him in ways he never expected. His usual sharp focus is starting to fracture, and he's finding himself caught between his growing feelings for Maxie, his loyalty to Jason, and the constant threat looming over them. The stakes are higher than ever, and every move he makes could tip the scales in a direction that he may not be able to reverse. As the chaos continues to build, Spinelli realizes that he can't do this alone. He needs Maxie, not just as a friend, but as a grounding force. But how can he pull her into something so dangerous? She has enough to deal with at deception, and the last thing he wants is to make her a target. Yet, at the same time, he can't ignore the fact that she is one of the few people who truly understands him. At the same time, Jason is preparing for the next phase of their battle, and he needs Spinelli focused. There is no room for hesitation, no space for distractions. If they don't act now, the enemy will strike first, and the consequences will be devastating. The pressure is reaching a boiling point, and Spinelli is on the verge of losing control. His obsession with the truth, his feelings for Maxie, and the weight of what he and Jason are facing are all converging in a way that is pushing him towards something dangerous. This is no longer just a battle for survival, it's a descent into madness. And as the lines between right and wrong begin to blur, Spinelli is about to discover just how far he is willing to go to protect the people he loves. Port Charles is on the brink of something explosive, and Spinelli is at the center of it all. Whether he realizes it or not, the choices he makes next will determine everything. And as the storm begins to close in, one thing is certain, nothing will ever be the same again. Spinelli is about to take on a mission unlike anything he has faced before, one that will shake the very foundations of Port Charles and expose secrets that were never meant to see the light of day. His skills as a hacker and information broker have always made him an invaluable ally, but this time, the stakes are higher than ever. What started as a simple task has now spiraled into something much bigger, and as Spinelli digs deeper, he realizes he is uncovering a truth so shocking that even he struggles to comprehend its implications. This new assignment isn't just another favor for Jason or an attempt to outmaneuver the usual enemies. This is something far more dangerous. A powerful force has set events in motion, and Spinelli has unknowingly placed himself right in the middle of a game where he may be in way over his head. The digital breadcrumbs he follows lead to a revelation so explosive that it threatens to dismantle everything the people of Port Charles thought they knew. What makes this mission so perilous is that it isn't just about hacking into databases or decrypting messages. It's about uncovering a network of corruption that has been silently growing beneath the surface for years. There are names on the list, powerful names, that should have never been connected. There are financial transactions, hidden alliances, and evidence of crimes that could bring down some of the most influential figures in town. But more than that, there is something deeply personal tied to this puzzle. Something that makes Spinelli realize that he isn't just an outsider looking in. He is in this. As he works to connect the dots, the weight of what he has uncovered begins to take a toll. Every new revelation sends a ripple effect through his world, making it clear that he is playing a game far more dangerous than he ever imagined. He has always operated in the shadows, gathering information, pulling strings from a safe distance, but now, he is no longer just an observer. He is a target. The moment of revelation is near, and Spinelli knows he must act fast. But what he doesn't anticipate is just how massive the fallout will be. This isn't just about criminal activity or hidden deals. This is about something that has the power to destroy lives, expose betrayals, and ignite a war that no one is prepared for. The tension has been building, and now, the explosion is imminent. As the truth finally comes to light, the reaction is immediate. Allies turn against each other. Enemies rise from the shadows. And in the center of it all, Spinelli stands at the heart of the storm, the one who unknowingly triggered it. His mission, once just another assignment, has now become a battle for survival, and he must decide how far he is willing to go to protect the people he cares about. But the biggest question remains, can he control the chaos he has unleashed, or has he already set events in motion that cannot be stopped? One thing is certain. The impact of what he has discovered will be felt across Port Charles for a long time to come. The game has changed. The war has begun. And Spinelli is about to find out just how dangerous the truth can be.